Hi, this is Eli with SublimeGuys.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite things, sushi rolls. You know why I love them? Because you can use leftover rice or leftover quinoa, all kinds of leftover things in your fridge. And you can be really creative with what you choose to put inside of it. So it might seem a little complicated the first time you do it, and I want you to just stick with it, because once you get the hang of it, you're gonna love it. So I shot this video about a year ago in another kitchen, and the camera focuses on my hands because of the food prep, and there's kind of a trick on how to roll it. But I'll see you at the end of the video, okay? Enjoy! These are the ingredients. Short grain brown rice that I actually had left over from yesterday. This is Nori, which is roasted. There comes in a lot of different brands, but just make sure that it's roasted, or sometimes it says toasted versus getting the raw. You're going to need a little bamboo sushi mat that you can get at Whole Foods or any Asian market. Some kind of a wooden paddle, kind of like this, really helps to smooth the rice down. And the vegetables I'm putting in are scallions, green onions, carrots. These were some stems from kale that I had left over. I actually made kale chips last night, and I saved the stems for soups or things like this. And this is shiitake mushrooms. They were dehydrated, and I soaked them in water for about 15-20 minutes. And this is if you don't know about this, I really recommend that you try this. It's called umeboshi paste. And umeboshi is a pickled plum, and it has really a lot of medicinal qualities. I love the taste of it. It's a little sour, salty, and well, it's kind of an acquired taste, but you're going to love it. So this is what you do. I'm going to move things out of the way now that you saw them. Oh, and of course, avocado. So the trick is getting the rice. It's got to be cool. It's got to be sticky. What you want to do is put pressure with your paddle so that you put it on the nori. And the nori has two sides when you look at it. One of them is really shiny, and the other one, you see that, has a little bit more ridges. So you're going to have the ridges up and the shiny part on the outside. Make sure that that happens when you lay it down. So you need to hold your nori with your fingers like this when you spread your rice, and you want to create about a lip of about, you know, a half an inch or an inch on both sides with no rice there, so that the nori will have something to hold on to. And the next thing you want to do is you want to take the umeboshi paste and put just a little bit like this. Remember, it's kind of salty and sour, but it's going to give it a really delicious flavor. It's extremely alkaline. Umeboshi is like the king of alkaline, so you're going to love how that feels in your tummy. If you ever get a stomach ache, just put a little bit of that in your mouth or dissolve it in hot water for a hot tea. Next, we're going to put some of the scallions down like this. And you know what's fun to do? Let some of it stick out on the edges, and you're going to find out why in a minute. When you cut it in the end, it's really nice to have something peeking out. Part of making this is that it's not only delicious, but it's really beautiful when you are through. And then here is a little bit of the kale stems. I mean, why throw them out when you can use them, right? And we're going to put a little bit of avocado. Yum. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And some of the shiitake mushrooms. There it is. Now here comes the tricky part. Rolling it. This is where a lot of people have some trouble, and don't worry, your first one will probably turn out to be a mess. So just be patient. You're eventually going to get it. When you start rolling, your fingers are going to hold on to the nori, and these fingers over here hold on to your inside stuff, so that you want to try to get the lip of Can you see that? The lip of the nori tucking underneath. Can you see that a little bit? I don't want to mess it up. Now I'm putting pressure with this hand on it a little bit, and with this other hand I'm going to pull forward, and I'm putting pressure with my left hand, just making sure that everything stays nice and tight. And then don't just let it go. Still put pressure on it. Roll your mat, and now give it a gentle squeeze. Sometimes things want to pop out on the outside, and like I said, it's nice for the look, but make sure you kind of pack in the rice. There you go. And then you just roll it out and ta-da! Now sometimes here where the seam is, if for some reason it didn't quite work out and things aren't sticking, you want to have a little bit of water standing by, and just put a little bit of water on the nori. By the way, nori is an amazing thing, not only nutritionally, but it almost works like a second skin. If you ever cut yourself instead of a band-aid, just cut a little piece of nori and put it on. You'll be amazed how quickly that heals. So there you go. There's your roll, and now I'm going to teach you how to cut it. Okay, so now in order to cut your sushi roll, it's nice to let them sit for a little while. It's interesting how the nori kind of takes on a little bit of the moisture, and they kind of poof up just a little. But you need a very sharp knife. I love my Mac knife. As you know, I absolutely adore this knife. I've had it for many years. And what you want is for it to be slightly wet. See how that is going to drip just a little bit? So you're going to do this at an angle, and you just very gently slice all the way through. Okay? I think I'm going to get one more cut out of this one. And what I mean by that is that if it starts getting really sticky with the rice, the next cut's not going to work so well. So I'm going to come over here to the sink. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on it, just like that. As long as the edge is wet, it's going to work out. So here comes another cut. Another cut. Maybe, I'm not going to risk the last one. And see what I meant about having something sticking out? Look at that. Cute, right? Now I'm going to show you how I like to arrange them on a plate. So now that you have your nori roll, your sushi roll cut up, I'd like to start with these end pieces. Remember I told you how beautiful they would look with things sticking out of them? So we're going to put them like this right in the center. You know what? I'm just going to do the 3 because I'm going to eat this one. And you're going to put these other ones. You see when they're cut, they have this edge. When you cut them at an angle, they have this edge that I'm going to point towards the center. Now I happen to have a second roll already made that I also cut up just to fill the plate. To me, it's not only how something tastes and how nutritious it is, but also how beautiful it looks, because it makes it much more appetizing. Even if you're cooking for yourself, make sure that your plate is always beautiful, that you look at that and you feel really proud of yourself. You feel proud of how beautiful and nutritious this is. Now I always have toasted sesames on hand. This is like a staple. I put them on everything. And as you can see, just a little bit of sesame seeds makes a big difference in the presentation. It's really beautiful. And it's tasty. And I have some organic pickled ginger that I bought at Whole Foods. And I have some tamari with less sodium, which is right here, 50% less sodium. It's gluten-free soy sauce. And there you go. You have a beautiful little Asian dinner ready to go. What do you think of that?
Did you love it? So I want to see what you make. Send me some pictures. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you loved this, please share it with some friends so that they get to enjoy this process too. So, thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.